Let's gavel.
Welcome back, everybody, to episode 3 of Let's Gavel.
Welcome back, everyone. Happy to have you.
Glad you guys are sticking with us through this journey. Today, we are talking about small law firms, what it means to be in a small law firm, how it is to work in one. This basically is our day to day. We both work in small law firms, so we just kind of want to tell you guys what it's all about. So, I'm going to say, define for us what is a small law firm? What is considered a small law firm?
So, a small law firm is usually about 10 to 15 attorneys or less. And small law firms can be really general in their practice, where they kind of dabble in various areas of law, or it can be a boutique law firm where they offer more like specialized services in specific areas of law,
Like, as compared to a big law firm, that's a
hundreds.
number. Yeah, it can be up to hundreds of attorneys, hundreds of support staff, right? Across
Right.
multiple states, across multiple disciplines.
Yes, and it can even be international. There's also mid-sized law firms that fall kind of in the middle. So, yeah, it's like boutique slash small, mid-size, and then big law firms.
So we consider ourselves to work in small law firms because we fall into that category of small law firms, as you mentioned. I work in a law firm where there are 2 attorneys, me and my boss, and 4 support staff, so a total of 6 of us.
Yeah. And I work for a firm that has 4 attorneys and 3 support staff. As one of the 2 attorneys at your firm, what are some of your job responsibilities? What's your day to day look like?
Okay, good question. Well, first off, as a associate attorney at a small law firm, you will wear many hats.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just dabbling in all kind of things. You're in court, you're reviewing documents for paralegals before they are submitted to court or filed with the court, you're negotiating with opposing counsel, you're talking with clients all the time, you're doing administrative stuff. So every day is some mixture of those things. On any given day, I would probably, like, majority of my time, I am going to court on something, whether that's remotely or in person. And I'm usually doing some sort of reviewing of something as well on a daily
Mm-hmm.
basis. So I dabble in some reviewing, dabble in some discussions with clients, and then dabble in some court experience on a day to day. What
Yeah,
about you?
that's pretty much the same. I feel like when I'm in the office, which is, a lot of my days, I'm on my computer handling paperwork or maybe on the phone with some clients. Usually I'm talking to my paralegal either through chat or on the phone, like pretty much constantly. I love my paralegal. She is amazing. And all support staff, all paralegals, they just make our lives so much easier,
Yes.
lifelines of the firm, right?
100% agree. Yes,
Yeah.
100% agree.
So, one thing about being in a small law firm is that it's easy access to the partner of the firm or the other attorneys you're working with. So, kind of depending on if you're remote or in person. I mean, I am in person. I go to court I go to the office every day. So I see my group every day. So my boss and I are constantly popping in and out of each other's offices and like keeping in touch, touching base about cases, and same with everyone else. So that's kind of the vibe, the jive of the firm, that's what it's like.
Hmm.
Whereas um like, for example, I used to work at a big firm and that was not the case. I had set meetings to meet with set teams. Otherwise, I was just at my desk alone doing my own thing. So I would say it's much more interactive
Yeah,
at a
it's a good
small law
word.
firm. Do you
Yeah, it's a
agree?
good word. I agree. Yeah, and I think too, when it comes to like speaking with clients, like I know like they consider nonprofit organizations being like direct representation. I remember that's how they would frame nonprofit work.
Hmm.
And it's kind of like that in small law firms too, even though it's private. Clients kind of have a direct line of access to you. They have access to you a lot easier than I think if you're at a big law firm, you would be a little bit more, there's other people they can reach out to. For
Right.
me, every client that I have knows my name and knows my number and my email and knows
Yes.
how to contact me and will contact me more than once. a day. And Will read my
Absolutely.
line. Yeah, Will finds my number quite easily.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
and it's harder to hide, not like you want to hide, but it's harder to be like, talk to the person in the front because
Right.
there's
You are the
really,
person.
you
You
are,
are the
I'm the
person
person
in
in
the
the
front.
front.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm the person in the front and in the back. So
Right.
I think, yeah, there's just easier access, in general, you're just accessible.
That's so
So,
true. I mean, it's just inherent to the job. So
yeah.
it's myself, the partner, or the paralegal. Like those are the three people that my our clients are kind of looking to. And a
Hmm.
lot of the times, 99% of the time, it's they come to me, the clients come to me because I'm an attorney on the case. I'm more accessible than my partner.
Right. That kind of goes hand in hand with kind of making decisions a lot as a associate at a small law firm. Because we are accessible, we are in charge of a lot more, I think, than a associate attorney at a bigger law firm or in a bigger group of
Yes.
lawyers or staff in general. It's us that's signing off on the paperwork, or us that's talking strategy with the client, or us that's negotiating with opposing counsel. So we are actively, making decisions every day that can sometimes be, hard on the brain sometimes.
We do
you
the
know,
thing.
yeah, we do the thing, I guess.
Totally. Totally. I mean, I always feel like in this role, I'm doing the work that I would do in years 1 through 8 of big law. And for those of you that don't know, in like a bigger law firm, the year that you have been in practice determines like your scope of work. So if you're like a first year associate at the law firm or out of law school, you're considered a junior associate. I think 1 through 3 is like junior associate, and your universe of work is like very limited. And then once you kind of rise through the ranks, you get more and more and more responsibility. When you're like a senior associate level or like pretty close to partner level, then you're really talking to the clients and you're their first touch point. But you have to kind of go through the ranks to, um, get that increased responsibility. Whereas
Right.
in our jobs, we do all of that. We're
Right.
doing the junior associate level work and the senior associate level work. So that's really cool in a sense because it's like sink or swim. Like we have to figure it out. But
Yeah.
because it is sink or swim, it has, its challenges. You have to be ready for that.
Yeah, agreed. It's kind of crazy sometimes when I find myself in court and I'm like, quote unquote, first chair doing a trial that, I like, just gotta, I feel quite young or unequipped for. But obviously, I do my best to equip myself, but still, there's something to be said about the years of experience that we just don't have,
Mhm.
yet. But that being said, because we are learning all the time, we're forced to learn a lot quicker and kind of use that knowledge a lot faster. I remember when I first started going to court, and I would have my little script and everything that was exactly what I needed to say. And just watching other attorneys, I would pick up certain things or pick up lingo or pick up rules. And then the next time I would go, I would sound more like advanced, even though this is my second court appearance or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
And so you're having to like pick up and use the knowledge right away. It's kind of like a baby when they're learning like multiple languages at a time. And so I think that's really cool about being in small law.
It's so cool. You have to be comfortable for sure with, like, maybe not having as much oversight, maybe working a lot more independently. I think we both enjoy that. I mean, I know I really do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the independence. I like feeling like I'm the attorney on the case. When I was in a big law firm, I was seeking out a job at a smaller law firm specifically for the reason of I wanna learn how to be an attorney. And, that's exactly what I got when I got here because 'cause I'm figuring it out as I go. Not to say I don't know what I'm doing, but,
Yeah.
like Bailey said, you kind of pick things up as you go.
And that's a great point because I think like in my demeanor as a person, I think I come off shyer. And I think I can be shy to an extent, and so being in that role and like taking charge and making decisions really early in my career was not something that I foresaw, but it's also part of my personality too. Like I want to be able to have a hand in making a difference for my clients, and so that oversight, sometimes, it's kind of a silver lining. Sometimes I would
Mhm.
like more oversight and I don't
Right.
have it. And then sometimes I don't want any and I have too much. I
Yeah.
kind of like dabble back and forth. And I think those are the two sides of my personality. So, it's an interesting place to be. I think it's not for everybody,
Right.
to not really have a hand to be held. My hand wasn't really held much, you know, at all. Sometimes I would like, yeah,
Yeah.
I like a little bit of hand holding just to be like, Bailey, you're doing a great job.
Doing a great job.
Oh, thank you.
You really are, though,
Because
you really
I don't
are.
really, you don't really, I kind of work on positive reinforcement,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm getting more cases and doing more stuff, and I keep getting more responsibilities in every position I've been in. So I take it to mean I'm doing great, but
yeah.
thank you. I
You
appreciate it.
totally
Yeah, I'm
are.
happy.
I know your clients are super happy and satisfied with you, like, they
Thank
come
you.
back for you at the end of the day. Yeah, she's doing the thing.
Yeah. I
I
always like
love
hug
that.
my clients after court every time. I'm like, well, we did good. And
You're
I'm
like, "Good
like,
job, sweetie." Yeah.
yeah. Like, it's so funny because when I meet them, I'll shake their hand because I probably only met them once or this is maybe my first time meeting them. I'm like, oh, hello, hello. How are
Mhm.
you? I'm Bailey, la la la. And then at the end, I'm like, oh, well,
Give
we
me a
did it.
hug.
Yeah. I'm like, hug. Okay. See you later.
That's
Um,
so funny.
it's sweet. Yeah. We're friends now.
I
But
love
yeah.
that. I love that. That's a good feeling when you're done with a hearing or you're done with a case and you're like, "Ah, like, we did the thing. Good job. High
Yeah.
five." Yeah.
Especially when you don't have that hand holding and you're learning things
Mhm.
and you're on the spot and you've done your research. Like, you can do all the research, Westlaw, whatever, but when you get into the courtroom, you don't exactly know what the judge is going to say or what the judge is going to find important. And so
Yeah.
there is an element of always thinking on your feet. I'm sure even for veteran attorneys, but
Totally.
there's an element
Yes.
of surprise.
There's always an element of surprise. The thing with the veteran attorneys is that they have more experiences under their belts, whereas we
Right.
are building our tool belt right now.
Right.
So it's like a little bit more, like what's happening? Actually, going back to something you were talking about with your personality versus the job, like I relate to that. I don't think being shy versus aggressive is the thing that leads to results. It's more of like, are you being
Right.
logical? Do you have your head level? Like that, I think helps the client in the long run versus being like a shark, nasty attorney and using fighting words to like get things done. Because usually nothing gets done if you're being aggressive as an attorney.
Right.
We have to be really
100%.
neutral and not take things personally.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Could not have said it better. Yeah,
Right?
100%
So
agree. Yeah.
if you're like a prospective lawyer or you're thinking about it and you're like, but I'm more soft spoken, please don't let that stop you from pursuing this path because you can be just as effective, if not more, just using that little noggin of yours.
Right? Right, right. Right, use it. Use your noggin. I
Yeah.
think too, like, for those that are more aggressive, because I know that this profession tends to draw, the aggressive personality types. I think there's a place for you, okay?
Yeah.
But with everything, like Hamasei said, we can make sure that being in court, being dealing with clients is not just about arguing. It's not just about being the loudest person in the room or the most aggressive or the nastiest. It really
Mhm.
is about using your noggin, and it's really about getting the result for your client. This is not your case. There's nothing to take personal here. This is not your life
Right.
story on the line. You're here to
Yeah.
articulate in the best way to the judge what, or to, the mediator, whatever, whoever the personnel may be, your client's position. We are, in a sense, mouth service. Is that the word? Lip service for the
Lip
client.
service, yeah, yeah. That's why they always say, like, the lawyers that go up against each other and then get drinks afterwards, it's like, yeah, because they don't need to take it personally, that's not their job. The
Exactly.
people who do, who wanna bring off this, like, aggressive personal personality, that's tiring. Please reconsider that approach.
Right. Please, please reconsider. Agreed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
please.
because yeah, we don't want to be dealing with you because honestly,
No, we
when you're
don't.
dealing, people don't like to be yelled at, typically speaking.
Right,
So
yeah,
it's just about maintaining your composure, like Hamasei said. No one's perfect.
yeah,
You
yeah.
live and you learn it, as Hannah Montana says. Is that what it says? I hope those words are right.
I think so, sounds
Nobody's
right to
perfect.
me.
You live and you learn it. Yeah. So just Be chill. It doesn't mean you're fighting any less. Actually, I feel like when you yell and you're aggressive in that way, you can't really hear. You can't, you can't be be as smart. So be chill. That's
Take it
yeah.
down a notch, bro.
Take it down. Take it down. And judges that are listening, no, I'm just kidding.
Oh, no.
Oh, judges,
Oh,
please,
actually,
please.
please.
Why
Please,
are we
like,
yelling?
why are
I
we
know it's
always in
your
a bad
courtroom.
mood?
I know it's your courtroom and I get it, but it's 8:30 in the morning.
I
We
know,
all are
please.
dealing with things, okay?
We don't wanna
Personal.
be here just as much as you don't wanna be here.
We don't. We all drove in. We're tired. Okay, we're barely making it. We don't want
Yes,
to be yelled at. We're doing our best. Again, nobody's perfect.
right. Sometimes you go to court and a judge is this, I don't know, in a bad mood, having a bad day, and you cannot get a word out before you get shut down, like,
Shut down
hard and deep,
hard.
okay?
Hard deep on the
Um,
floor. Yeah.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
"Shut up, I'm not talking to you," basically, even though
At
you
all.
were just talking to me.
Yep.
Yeah,
Even though you
and
called me
then
up here, you don't
you
want to
asked
talk
me
to
to
me.
be here, but you don't want me to talk. Fine, no problem.
Yep.
Some days the judge is having a fantastic day, or they're just like a really great judge, very logical, and it's all good and fine and dandy, but it's really a toss up. It really is. So that's something to note if you're gonna get into this career.
Yeah.
Um,
Homicide mentioned two different words that may or may not have escaped you. One being litigation, one being transactional.
okay, let's break this down. So big picture, there is the criminal law system and the civil law system. Those are our two huge umbrella categories. Under civil law, which is where Bailey and I practice, and unless you're a criminal law attorney, you're probably in the civil world, right? So, under the civil system, we have litigation and we have transactional work.
Okay, so litigation. As a litigator, you will be going to court. You will be taking depositions, which are basically interviews under oath. You'd be doing dispute resolution, so that can be look like settlement negotiations or settlement conferences, mediations. You're also doing all the work that brings a case to court or to the deposition or to the judicial officer. So, for example, drafting documents, motions, drafting briefs,
Right.
things
There's
like
a
that.
ton of paperwork that moves cases along. I mean, more than you would expect. We were
Yes.
joking earlier, like, it feels sometimes like we just signed up for a life of endless homework.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
honestly so much paper, you guys. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, it's a lot of papers, a lot of paper pushing. So even as a lawyer, even if you have the best paralegals ever, if your name is or your license is on the line with that paperwork, you're reviewing it, you're still pushing it, even if you're not filling it out. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And this is where your classic, like, lawyers arguing their points, that's where that litigation comes in, right? It's like you are trying to persuade the court to find in your favor. But on the transactional end of things, it's more like we're working together to build a contract or put a deal together. So, whereas in litigation, there's so many different types of paperwork and things you have to do and different stages along the way. In transactional work, it's like we have one ultimate goal. The universe of your work is all within that one contract.
Yeah.
Transactional work comes in family law, right?
Exactly. So, for example, if you were to take family law and kind of break it down in these into these two sections or these two categories, the litigation part of family law will be when we go to court and we're arguing for child support, or I'm arguing for more custody, or I'm arguing for the house to go to this person versus that person. The transactional side of family law would be things like filling out adoption paperwork or writing prenup agreements or postnup agreements. So it's more of that contract negotiation side of things rather than the court persuading them to rule in my favor.
You can handle cases under any industry that you're interested in. If you're interested in real estate, area of law, art law, that's an area of law, food law, that's an area of law, entertainment, there's like so many different areas of law.
Yeah, and then separate from all of that is immigration law. We're special in that way, I guess.
Yes.
It's a federal type of law, so instead of it being state specific, it's federal. So if you are an immigration attorney, sometimes immigration attorneys do work across multiple states. You can
Mhm.
because it doesn't depend on the the state specific California state laws versus New York state laws. It's just general across the board. And so that's pretty cool. It's a little special
Yeah.
aside.
Yeah. And then there's, like, other miscellaneous, like, patent law. Patent law, you can
Trademark
be
law.
yeah, yeah, you can be a litigator, but the system's a little bit different in patent litigation. So, there's just bottom line, there's so much to choose from in this profession, which is pretty cool, you know? You can kinda do anything with it.
Yeah, and then also I guess we didn't mention, but you can also not just decide not to do any of this and actually
Right.
go into academia and teach law instead. So there are a lot of different
Correct.
things you can do with this degree.
So, there's so many things to think about now that we're laying it out.
Yeah, and then even like I would, even though some people come to law school with a specific type of path or law in mind, use law school to your advantage in that you can try out all these different, can try out as many sectors of law as you want. I did like some work in nonprofits, I did some work in personal injury stuff, like criminal, white collar, stuff that I'm not even in now, but it was cool to just touch and dabble in that world. So
Yeah.
use your law school experience to your advantage in that way. What are the biggest challenges of working in a small law firm?
Oh, okay. Wow. Comes with a significant amount of challenges. Sorry.
As all work does, I
As
guess.
all work does. Yes, yes, yes. Of course, of course.
I mean, I guess I don't know.
Okay, so for me personally, I'm gonna say going back to something I said earlier, feeling like I'm doing homework all the time. I don't know, I that's not particular to small law firms. I definitely felt like that when I was in the big law world,
Hmm.
but just yeah, not getting away from, like, the feeling of I just need to, like, finish this motion. It's like, I need to submit this paper, like, that's
Right.
really hard for me sometimes, and on that same note, this is specific to small law, but because there's only a few of us, like, I will be writing huge motions, like, just by myself, and, like, I have to figure out how to do it and do it right, and do
Right.
it myself, and that includes everything from the brainstorming to the researching to the writing and then the, like, citations and the final edits, like, all of that stuff. In bigger law firms, you get the support, like, on each end, but in small law, it all probably will fall on you, so that can sometimes be a challenge. It's also pretty rewarding once you're done and you've submitted it and you're like, "Cool, like, I did that."
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I remember, well, there's been a handful of times where I have just felt the lack of support,
right,
severely.
yeah,
I've only worked in small law firms, so I really am only comparing the three small law firms that I've worked at to each other.
mm,
But I just, assume it is a characteristic of being in a small law firm. While there is a lot of money in small law, like, firms are making a lot of money, the resources somehow are still
yeah.
lacking. I don't know, or the staff is lacking. Like there were times where I felt like, can somebody help me?
I would say another challenge would be sometimes it's hard to deal with clients that like question you too a little bit too much or get on ChatGPT and they get a lot of misinformation. It doesn't happen often, but sometimes I'm like, can the partner talk to this person because he'll make them understand.
Right. Yeah, I think too, because I am the associate, I'm like the lesser of the two, even though I'm
Right.
doing a lot of like, at least for my firms, the way that it's kind of worked out is that the managing attorney, the owner, will bring in all the business and then I will do a
Yes.
majority of the court appearances, you
Same.
know? So I'm going to be at your case with you come whatever day. But
Yeah.
I've had clients where they are not only they prefer my boss, but I've had a client come in and sit down and I'm like, "Oh, hi, like I'm going to be taking your appointment today. My boss is not available. We don't like you. We don't want you." Oh yeah, straight like that. Straight like that. I was like, "Okay, well, my boss is not available in this moment while you're here, so I'll be taking your appointment. I'm also an attorney. I'm, la 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 la." And it was a family actually that all sat there and they were like, "We don't want you. We just don't want you. We don't like you. We don't know you. We don't want you." They said it like about 20 times until I was like, "Let me just get up here."
my
And
gosh.
I got up and I was like, actually, I can't deal with him.
You're
Okay,
like, "I
because
don't want
they're
you either."
I don't want you. I don't know you. I don't like you. I don't like your attitude coming in here sitting in my office so nasty. So, yeah, because there is only 2 attorneys,
Mhm.
my bosses that I work for, their name's on the door, so who am I? They're coming to see the name on the door, and I'm the other one, you know?
Right.
So, it's kind of presented challenges,
Right. Yeah.
and I've had to kinda convince clients of me, but you have to kinda walk them through that, like, "No, I'm not the name on the door,
Right.
but I'm
I'm doing
better."
all the
I'm just
work.
kidding. Yeah,
No,
right.
literally, I'm doing all the work
Yeah,
here.
like, get to know me, don't just sit there and tell me you don't like me, you
Oh
know?
my gosh, I'm so sorry to hear that. That's so shocking.
I
Whoa.
don't know. It was
Yikes.
interesting.
I'm sorry to hear that. That's wild. Yeah. I
Yeah,
definitely make it a part of my spiel in consults to say, "I'm his associate. He's overseeing everything, but you should know I do like most of the legwork." Usually I spin it to say, your bill will be less, like, you actually want me to
right.
be the one working on everything, but, that's usually how I spin it, and as long as I tell people in advance, they're okay with it. Definitely in the beginning, I think there were a few clients that were like, "Wait, who are you?" If they have really complicated questions or questions that I feel like somebody with more experience should be the one to answer, I don't try to pretend like I know.
No,
Yeah, I'll either say, like, "I'll look into it and get back to you," or, "That's the boss question, let me set you up on a call with him."
right. And I
Yeah,
think that's totally fine. I do
yeah,
the same thing. I feel the same way. I don't have a problem with telling people because again, I'm just a girl at the end of the day. And I don't have all the answers. So sometimes I just say to them, you know, I'll look into it. I don't know the answer off the top of my head. And I think
yeah,
that's okay. Yeah.
totally, it's
Mhm.
totally okay, we don't have to be cocky for no reason.
No. I was
Yeah.
like, again, because, and it's so crazy because right now I'm in court settings I've never been in before,
Mm.
but the client doesn't know that.
Oh my
So it's kind of, it's kind of funny because I have to, learn it. And then if it's something I don't know, I'm like, okay, well, hmm, let me look into that.
no,
No.
that reminds me, the one and only DUI case I took, I did it because my one of our staff at the time, she really wanted to start taking on criminal law matters, and there was this random person who called with a DUI, so she was like, "Please take this case, like, I'll help you, we can do it together." I'm like, "Okay, I'll do it for you."
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I would try to figure it out obviously before, like, we're doing a lot of studying before, we're trying to figure it out, but until you get to the court, you, like, don't really know how everything's gonna pan out. So I remember I got so freaking lucky. The first time I showed up in court on that case, there was this really cute, like, young attorney that I was, like, just vibing with, and she has her own, like, DUI practice, and we just vibed. So I told her, I was like, "This is my first time, like, I literally don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
I think I'm supposed to say this, but, like, can you just confirm that my script is right?" And she let me set all of my follow-up dates to fall on the same dates that she was following up on her cases. So every time I would go, she'd be there and she'd be like, "Yes, like, you're right. This," or like, "No, you have to actually do this."
Gosh, so
And I got
nice.
so, oh my God bless her
Thank
soul.
God. No,
Yeah.
yeah. No, honestly, when I went to criminal court, it was kind of a DUI case too.
Mhm.
And I was there and I was talking with this older attorney and he was like, "Oh, I'm Jim." I was like, "Yeah, I'm Bailey." We're waiting in line to talk to the DA and
Yeah.
I already know what I need to say, la la. And he says, "Are you usually in criminal court?" And I'm like, for a second I thought, should I lie? Should I not? Cuz sometimes you walk into court, you don't know the players. You don't
Yeah.
know who's on your side, who's not.
Yeah.
So, I was just honest and I said, "No, usually I'm in family court settings and immigration." He's like, "Oh, that's really tough. Like this is." He's like, "I'm very rarely in those settings. I'm mostly in criminal. So if you need any help, let me know."
Mhm.
And later on in the calendar, I was walking out and the client was frustrated. Like she was, she's agreed to something and then she wanted to like take it back and was just kind of crying and it was like emotional. And then he was like, "Bailey, I've been doing this for 30 years. If you need my help, like let me know."
Mm.
And at that point, I didn't know what to do because I was like, is it crazy that the client would see the other, like another attorney not associated with the firm helping us? But at
Mhm.
the same time, I don't know. I just felt like
Bring
I
him
felt in
in.
that moment, bring him in. I said,
Yeah.
bring him out, bring him out. I said, I need help. So he's like, write down this case, Duenas versus. It literally dropped her fine for DUI from 1,700 to $70.
Yes, oh my
I
god,
said, what?
literally.
I was like, girl, you're gonna be put on a payment plan. But
Yeah,
I didn't know.
yeah. No, my girl told me the same
Did
exact
she?
case. Yes,
Yes,
yes, and I
Duenas.
used it. Yes.
Me too. And it
And
worked,
it was
right?
I was like, "I love this court."
This whole thing
I
here that's
love this
happening.
court,
Right.
yeah.
Everybody, I love
We're
you.
so
Have a great day.
collaborative,
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
Mind you,
yes.
it's like a criminal court, yeah,
No,
like, I love
literally.
it.
It's so chill in criminal court. It's actually kind of
I know,
surprising.
it's so surprising. Yeah. Yeah, and the
Yeah.
pro I think you told me a story like this too, but you have to, like, check in a different way in criminal
Yes.
court than, like, in civil, and so I didn't know I had to check in, so I was sitting there waiting for, like, a whole ass hour, and everyone was done, and I'm still sitting there,
Same.
and one of the prosecutors came up to me and was like, "Have you checked in?"
Yeah, it was actually for me, exact same thing happened. I was
Yeah,
sitting there for the whole calendar, and then the
literally.
I was thinking maybe my case is different than the others. Maybe mine's separate.
Yeah, maybe I'm special.
The bailiff was like, "Did you sign the sheet at the front?" And I'm like,
Yeah,
"Sign the sheet? What
yeah,
sheet?" He's
yeah,
like, "You have to sign it and then hand the paper." It's so weird. You have to hand it to the clerk to call your case. You
right,
have to
right.
do an extra step. So yeah, I sat there for about 2 hours before I realized
Oh my
that
gosh,
was
that's so
happening.
funny. Yeah, it's like I said at one point in this podcast, the criminal and the civil systems are very, very different, but I mean, criminal's cool. I like it. Okay, so we talked about our biggest challenges. Now, what are like your favorite parts of the job, pros of the job? Like, let's end it on a positive note.
Right, love that. Love a positive note.
Love that. Yeah.
Okay, so for me, two things stand out for me. One, I actually really, really love, surprisingly, even though I'm kind of shy, I actually really love going to court. I
Mhm.
love just like being in the room. I love being called up and, good morning, Your Honor. I just love that whole thing. I love sitting and moving the mic. And I
Yeah.
just, I love how intimate it can be because it feels very daunting.
Yes.
But most of the court settings are so intimate feeling that once you're up there, it's just like a conversation. I feel the most, like, I feel like the best advocate in that moment, you
Yes.
know?
Yeah.
And um, I also love client relations. But I love to comfort and provide hope for clients. We
Yeah.
don't get a lot of happy people, and I think
Right.
especially in family and immigration, people's families are literally falling apart, so it's a sad place to be, but I think, sometimes you just need a hug. Sometimes you just need to know that it will be okay, like, maybe it's not okay right now, and there's obstacles that are in the way, but it will be okay, and so I just like being a therapist and a counselor in that way,
Yeah.
like a true counselor, and just walking through that with them. And I think, yeah, that's my favorite part. I love that part of it. And even when I'm on phone calls sometimes and I hang up and I say to them, okay, well, we'll talk soon and do thing. And I'm like, like, I just feel
Oh,
like
you're so cute.
I feel happy about like, about that whole thing. Anyway,
I
that's my two
love
favorite part.
that. No,
Yeah.
I love that. I love that about you. I love that about your personality and your style. Like, I'm like, "You go, girl." I
Yeah,
think it's special. I love when a case resolves through settlement negotiations. I just feel like everyone it's hard because everyone kind of feels like they've lost something, but at the same time, me as the attorney, I know that you won at the end of the day, and that's because you have basically taken control of your case and you are avoiding spending so much money in legal fees that you as like the client don't really see coming, but me as the attorney, I know like the potential of how big a case can get. So to me, like, I just feel good feeling like I just saved you so much money and heartache and heartbreak by settling this case, you
right.
know?
That's
And then,
true.
we try to get a settlement that feels good for the client, but if it's ever like like just below enough to make them feel good, then it's really that what I just talked about that brings them across the line, and to me that's invaluable cuz
Mhm.
people don't realize, like, litigation, it's nasty, and it can take a long time.
And it wears on you.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
especially if, like, my client's a business or a landlord or, someone who owns, like, a money generating thing that's, like, now wrapped up in litigation, it's like the best thing to do is to cut your losses, so let's put our business hats on, let's put the emotions aside, let's make the best business decision. When I can do that, I love it.
You're like, "Put the emotions aside."
Yeah, dollars
Yeah,
and
they don't
cents.
have a place. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, thank you for that
yeah.
new perspective on that. It's important, it's
Yeah, it's
important
so
work,
important.
yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, like, sneaks up on people.
And you know what else?
Hmm,
You're doing a great job.
thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate
you're
it.
doing so good. I
I
see you working,
appreciate
yeah, for all
it.
your clients, getting things done,
We
getting
get
things
things
signed.
done.
Yeah, you're doing
I love
great.
it, I love
Yeah.
it. Yeah, so those things can feel so good.
Yeah, that's like that makes it worth it. You know, you have to just find, your why, what makes it worth
Mhm,
it to you. It's a lot of, it's a lot of hours, it's you
mhm.
know, a lot of
Yeah.
hard times, a lot of stress, a lot of sleepless nights.
True, true, it's hard, it's the grind out here, let's not lie, it's the grind, but there are reasons to stick with it, and it can feel really good.
Yeah. And when you focus on those moments, do the other moments even matter? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I mean, take care of yourself, don't
Oh,
forget
yes.
that,
Yes.
but yeah, like, we can get through it, right?
Yeah, like, don't be afraid to take vacation when you need
Yeah,
it, call out when
please.
you need it. People will
Mm,
be okay, you know? When you take breaks and when you take vacation, it just helps you to reset, and
yes.
no one wants like a tired, lawyer barely making
No.
it. Someone framed it like this, like, say for example, you pass away giving your all to your career. They will
Mhm.
just find somebody else,
To
and the
replace
job will
you, yeah.
continue. So you have to put yourself first, at least equal to your career. You can't just like skyrocket your career and then you are at
Yes.
the starting line.
Yes, yes. I mean, that's what I saw in Big Law a lot is, like, people just became so consumed with their careers, which was the expectation, so that's hard when your work environment, like, expects you to give every hour of your day
Mhm.
to your job, like, that's really difficult. I didn't wanna grow up, for lack of a better word, in that environment in my career, so I got so, so, so lucky with this firm and my boss. His motto is, "We work to live, not live to work," and when I heard him
Mhm.
say that, I was like, "I
That's
love you.
wonderful. I
You're
love you
such a
too.
you're such a good person."
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, that is how it should be. And at the end of the day, I feel like life is built on experiences. And if you can't experience life and you're just at the desk working,
Mm-mm.
that's no fun,
No fun
you
at
know?
all. Yeah, absolutely. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Let's end it here, and as always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, email us. Otherwise, we'll see you on the next episode. Thanks for tuning in, Gavelers. Bye.